Hey guys, it's Yvette and I am here with the small Whimsy quilt for Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt Name of the Rose. And this is our clue number 6 of the, again, the small quilt. My fabric is Whimsy. So here we have it all laid out, what the pieces are that we received for this month, and I have made sure that I have all of these pieces, so now we are ready to begin. Okay, so I'm going to kind of set this aside, and we are going to start with section 6, number 1. We are going to join, we're going to make a 2 flying geese is what we're going to do. So we are, oops, hold on, I need to get my cheat sheet. Okay, here's my cheat sheet, and I need to take a fabric F, which are this, fabric F is this one, and it's the big one. Okay, so let's take these, and we're making 2. So I'm going to take those, and I'm going to take a fabric C, which are these guys for me. I'm going to put them to the left. And we are going to take fabric B, which is, ooh, we don't get to work with this one very much, which is this one, to the top right. And what we're going to do to make the flying geese is we are going to, as you remember, I always work on the left-hand side first, and then I come back and I do the right side. So we are going to turn these right sides together, and we are going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance right here and right here. Okay, here are the first 2 pieces sewn on, and we did press toward C. And now we're going to add the B fabrics. We're going to fold these over, right sides together, and sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance here and here. Okay, so now we've added on this second piece, and we pressed toward B, and now we're going to add 2 squares, well, 1 on each one, and it's going to be these purple squares here, which are our fabric C, and we're going to add them to the left side of what we've started. Okay, and exactly the same way, we are just going to take it and turn them right sides together. And we're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance here and here. Okay, so we have pressed toward the C square, just to let you know, and now we're going to set these aside for just a moment, and we are going to join 2 of the B triangles, and the B will go to the top left, and we are joining them to 2 F triangles, which are these guys, and they're going to go bottom right. And the way we join those is we're going to turn them this way, right sides together, and we will sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance here and here. Okay, here are the 2 half square triangles that we just made, and we were told to press toward fabric F, which is the bottom right. And so now we are going to take these 2 pieces, and we're going to attach them to the first pieces that we made, and we'll attach them there. So we'll turn these pieces right sides together, and you'll notice that the seams here will nest nicely with the ones that we are attaching it to. So you will just take your pieces, and right where the seams are here, you'll feel that they will nestle right up to each other. You may have to kind of manipulate them a little bit to get there, but there they are. I can feel it, that they are pushed right up against each other there. So let's do this one. Same exact thing. You wouldn't have to fight with it so much if you weren't on camera. It's going to give me a lot of trouble because I'm like filming it. Okay, so there it is. And you're going to go ahead and sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance here and here. Okay, so we have these 2 pieces completed, and we are going to set them aside, and we're going to start on the next one. And we are going to take 2 of the triangle A, which are these guys. We're going to put them to the top left. And we're going to take 2 of the C fabrics, the C small triangles, which are these, and put them to the bottom right. We're going to fold them right sides together, and we're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance here and here. Okay, so here are our 2 half square triangles, and now, and we pressed toward the C fabric, which is the one to the bottom right, and we are now going to add 2 of the C squares to the right side. So I'm going to take them and I'm going to flip them right sides together, and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance here and here. And you may be asking why sometimes I flip one piece over the other, or vice versa. In this particular case, anytime I have a piece of fabric or 2 pieces of fabric that I'm sewing together, one of them has a seam in it and the other one does not, I'm always going to put the piece that has the seam in it to the top, so that when I am sewing this seam, I can pay special attention to when the needle comes up to that additional fabric and doesn't get it to like bunch up or fold over or something like that. So that's why I do it this way. Okay, so here we have added the squares to the side, and we pressed toward the square. So we're going to set these aside for a moment, and we are going to take our B squares, which are these, and it's going to go to the bottom left this time, and our A squares are going to go to the top right. And I am going to flip them right sides together, and I am going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance here and here. Okay, so we have these 2 half square triangles, and now we are going to take these 2 squares and sew them to the left side. And I'm going to turn his little head like that. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to turn them right sides together. And I will sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance here and here. Okay, so we have these two pieces ready and we pressed toward the square. So your B square is where you want to press toward. Now we're going to take, let's see, where are we? We're going to take these two guys and we are going to attach them to the first two that we made like this, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to turn them right sides together. And we are going to, okay, can't nest them, but that's okay. I was going to give it a go, you know, you never know. And so we're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance here and here. Okay, so we finished those two strips and now we're going to attach them to the very first strip that we put together. So these will go to the top and the other one will go to the bottom like so. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to flip them right sides together and we are going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance all along the bottom here and here. Okay, so I have my two pieces sewed together. Obviously, this one on the bottom looks a heck of a lot better than the one on the top. I don't know what in the world happened there, but it's gonna be fine. I'm just not gonna worry about it. Okay, so I have these two pieces, and the next step that we are going to do is we are going to take the longer of the purple, I say purple, this is the A fabric. So you take your A fabric longer rectangle and we are going to sew them. Let me just scooch one of them over. We're going to sew them on top like that. So we'll take it and we'll turn it right sides together and we're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance right here. Okay, so now we have these pieces put together and we have one last piece to sew on, and that is the smaller of your fabric A, and we are going to sew that to the left side of our blocks. Okay, so we are going to turn these right sides together and sew our seam allowance a 1/4 inch down this side and this side. Okay, so we have our two pieces for clue number 6 completed, and I'm going to put these away and also put away my little cheat sheet and wait until next month. So I will see you guys when we get clue number 7. Thanks so much for sewing with me.